Oh! Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Welcome back to Fumble, folks, with our first long-form campaign, The Rapid Riders, as a group of punk rock rebels, Rapid Riders, worked their way across Fenrion, one of the provinces of the Cologneonmybutthole Empire. They have travelled from Benalesia to Harley's Rest to seek out aid. But let them introduce themselves. Doran.
Hello, I am playing the blind fighter Halite. No, he's not blind. He's an 8-foot-tall Goliath fighter barbarian. He is muscle-bound, not up here, but in here, and here. Last session was hard for Halite, and his heart could be 3 times sizes that day. Yeah.
And his penis did too.
Did we get 30 seconds? Did we get a clip? Who knows?
Does penis activate that?
I don't know. It's not a swear.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Let's not discuss what penises activate, all right? Let's.
Well, for that comment, Ben, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi there. I'm Ben. I'm playing Zeke Boomdiggles, the alcoholic, Way of the Drunken Master monk / warlock. Yeah, I'm basically playing myself, except that he is able to move, able to fight, able to do spells, and yeah, and basically, he's only a little bit taller than me.
That's not true. He's a lot.
I mean, it's not untrue.
Okay.
I hate you all.
Sarah, move us swiftly on from this.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I am playing Texas, the Inquisitive Rogue of the party, and the only human of the party.
Token human.
Token human. Like the one time I actually make a token human. One time I play a fucking human, everyone else is not human. So what the up, peeps?
I'm half human. I'm only half wrong.
But yeah, so I'm just here to make sure things hopefully don't go badly.
Yeah.
Really?
We're doing so
a terrible job.
I know. I mean, there's just so much drama going on right now.
There is.
Earlier.
Yeah.
The party split 3 ways currently.
Yeah.
That's very unlike you, Sarah.
I know, right? It's almost as if we were streaming this, and I was like, should I look professional when I started this?
Thank you for the sub.
Thank you very much.
Shenazam.
Sub.
Thank you very much.
Shazam.
All I got is Shabam, and the sub is here.
Great.
Yes. But depending on the context, that sounds better or worse, depending on who you're talking to.
Phil should definitely go next.
Phil? Let's go with Phil then. Phil.
I should go next. Okay.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Dewey. I'm Phil, but I'm playing Dunstan Dewey. I'm already there. It's too late.
The bleed
Phil, I am playing Dunstan Dewey Fairfoot. He is a part halfling, part Dew elf, dueling, if you will. That doesn't sound right, but yes, he is the ranger of the party. He is a swarm keeper, and instead of they made swarm keeper to mostly be badass edgelord, bugs or bats and darkness, but no, I'm a Disney princessing the hell out of this shit.
Full Snow White. Just...
Also, dueling is so cute.
I was going to say Dewdrop. Dewdrop dueling.
Dewdrop is so cute.
Yeah, what could be more punk rock than
Dewdrop Disney Princess?
Dewdrop. Here, my little sparrow's gonna help save the day. Yeah, but that's who I'm playing. So suck it up
I
and
really
live with
do
it, right?
think you take a level in bard just so you can sing to get them to turn up.
Oh my god, that might have to happen. Yeah, that might.
I mean, Halle's gonna teach the guitar anyway to you as well.
Yeah. Well, he said. I think we established last week that he really wanted to, but it's Halite sized, and he's like halfling sized. So
I was thinking of that. Maybe I have a child size one in the house. Can you imagine?
First guitar.
Yes, my
Baby's first guitar.
Imagine him like trying to rock out around the house, trying to be Halite, this badass mosh pit king. But the guitar he's got has got like a little flower on it, and it's
Yeah,
like
it has. It's got stickers all over it.
punk
Yeah,
rock.
absolutely.
And it's still too big for him.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, there we go.
There we go.
Punk rock.
Punk
Yeah.
rock.
And my character.
Bree. Take us
Yes.
home.
Hi. I have my Diana ready now. I'm Bree, and I am playing Diana, the actual bard, with an actual guitar. She is a bard of eloquence, and also a little bit of wizard.
Little dash of wizard.
Little dash of wizard.
Sprinkle of
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
pinch of wizard.
recently learned on the last level up. But yeah.
Hasn't used anything yet.
What a hell of a traumatic way to get that level up, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. My dead mom taught me in a book.
An illusion of your dead mum. I don't even give you your dead mum.
It's like, I'll have you know, I think
You know, it's worse.
It was an
Illusion.
after image of your it was an after image of your dead mother. You don't get the real thing.
A mirror reflection.
You don't know where she is.
That concept of being taught, and she's got her back to you, and she's writing something down about a spell, and then Diana's just there crying because her dead mother's there. I haven't seen you in 50 years or whatever.
Right, let's
It's all
get
what-
learning some
yeah.
stuff, and I'm like, ah.
It's just so much, Mom.
Yeah.
Aw.
It wasn't all meant to go grimdark, but we kind of got there quite quickly
We
with.
did, and also
it
into an
happens.
episode of EastEnders.
Because
Sneaking out a
sexy
window as the
boys.
sun rises and dum dum dum.
Yes.
On that note, also I am Sam. I am your DM. Let's get back into our game as the party have arrived in Harling's Rest, having travelled through the day after resting at a natural beauty spot. They met up with Harling's Harriers, the rebellion group here in Harling's Rest. They proved their worth by gaining information from what might be a strange, tenuous kind of alliance, or at least tentative trust shared with an Imperial conscript, a wizard or arcane user that has been allowed to not be killed or imprisoned in exchange for serving the Empire on a very short leash. They then returned to the Harriers. There was a heated discussion over what the plan would be, and the leadership of Harley's Harriers was, in a sense, not cut down, but broken as it became clear that they really needed help and they need you guys to give them some direction here. To lighten the mood, we decided to start fighting each other in an arena planned sparring where one of our custom races, a moon elf named Dusk, battled with our very own Halite. Being a barbarian, although Dusk managed to bloody Halite on a couple of occasions, rage is a thing, and you can't hurt a barbarian with martial weapons very, very well, which is what our fight was all about. And rather than let the crowd be cut off from viewing, like I said, and followed through with just closing their eyes throughout the rest of the fight and still beating Dusk quite handily. After the fight, tensions having dissipated a little bit, some of the party went to go and check on their resident engineer Crannel, who is better known as Splitlick, one of the last three members of Oz Nemesis, the rebellion group back in Benalicia, whilst others went drinking in a no questions asked speakeasy. Named Garrick, also codename as Brivard. There was a discussion about what the two had been doing since and why contact had been strenuous. When Halleck came in and started a game of Confessions of Truth, which all played, in which he asked about the past relationship of his current flame, let's put it like that, with Diana, and the old relationship that used to exist between Garrick and Diana. As Garrick retired to the adjacent bedroom, the pair, Diana and Halite, confided their love in each other, and as dawn broke on Harling's Rest, Garrick, off camera to the rest of the players, snuck out a window, whiskey bottle in hand, to do some serious thinking. Crying, thinking, drinking, all of the above. But dawn rises on Harling's Rest. We are roughly 2 weeks from the start of winter, also known as Ivan's Wake, the day in which it happens. I've made some mistakes on stream. The solstice is not called Ivan's Care. The entire period of winter is referred to as Ivan's Care. The solstice is the night of endless sleep, I believe. That is an errata from me because I have made a mistake there. But that is far in the future. We've got the approach of the first day of winter is coming, however. Are there any things people want to do immediately the next day?
Probably.
Because
I'm going to proceed to wake up with 2 bottles of gin in hand and go, this surf is awful. Even by the alcoholic standard, it's bad.
Nasty lavender gin was purchased.
I only had one, but I can still taste it.
Dusk will wake up. You're not entirely sure exactly where you are yet. You know it's outside. But they just, like, lots of straw is in their, like, very curly hair, and they would just say, this is why the old man says not to drink.
Where is the old man?
You look around, make a perception.
Could I do it with disadvantage because I'm so fucking hungover?
Yes.
The sunlight. Wait,
Same roll.
Did we sleep through the sunlight?
That would be an 11.
Dawn break.
I think we went to bed at like 5 a.m.
Yeah,
do you know
somewhere.
what's
You do not know what time it is. The sun is in the sky.
You know what's worse?
What?
The last thing that we knew, we were going up to bed.
Yep.
Well, it is. Yeah, I don't know how you got it back out.
Yeah. Nope.
It's the window.
You see, Dusk is with you looking around as well, but you are the one to spot Dawn. Rather than in what you are noticing is a hay pile around you, is sat in a chair opposite, fully passed out still, breathing, but passed out.
Good, I'm glad about that.
Passed out, clutching a different bottle that is empty. It looks more like something stronger, stronger whiskey, some kind of thing. There's a faint smacking of your lips, and you're like, memories begin flooding back of like, oh yeah, he convinced us maybe we should keep drinking. I'm not going to say you guys have to do anything in particular with this, just, yes, there was continued drinking. Enough just that the memories stopped at a certain point.
Just enough so you're married to someone now.
Yeah.
Not a big issue, just...
Am I right or wrong in saying that sheep definitely wasn't here when we started drinking, right?
Oh God, have we taken that from somewhere?
Why is it so loud?
because you appear to have been using its fleece as a pillow.
Just face down on it. Just
both you and Dewey easily fit on this.
Oh, it's so cute. Fan art, please.
Yeah.
Can I attempt to adopt this sheep now?
Of course.
Sam,
that's
Make
don't
an
put-
animal handling check.
You should know not to put any animals in D&D games because we will want them.
Hey, they made the sheep.
That's 6. Kick me in the face.
Yeah, you drunkenly stagger towards the sheep that was chilled out enough, and it just like begins panicking, kicking. You just dodge out of the way in time with your drunken master technique. Very used to a hungover dodge. As it goes sprinting and jumps over a stile of some kind. You notice now that you are definitely in the stables that were next to the green arrow. You clocked this place on the way in. It looks a bit different from the inside, but that matches.
Question is it any grosser than the inside of the pub anyway?
You see Dusk gets a pail of water that's collected some rainwater and throws it across Dawn's face as the old man goes and just chucks the bottle, which Dusk just moves out of the way of as it goes smashing against the post next to him.
Why does that smell like pure ethanol, old man?
I remember nothing.
I was half expecting.
That's about right. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's.
He looks out the window. He's going to make an intelligence check. No, he's going to make a nature check. He looks out and he goes, "Oh, okay, it's midday. That's not so bad. I am tired. Dusk, take me home." And Dusk just like, I am going to take the old man to get some proper rest.
Okay.
I was honestly expecting Dawn be up in the rafters, handing over.
That's what I was expecting as well, honestly. I was expecting to be hanging out of a net somewhere. Dewey.
Are we starting the rebellion today or something?
No.
I don't remember.
No.
I don't remember. No, that we decided that was a very bad idea. And something about
herding. It's a
herding.
bad idea now.
Something about herding cats. Oh, and the old man shuffles off with Dusk into town.
I'm gonna put my arm around Dewey and also put Dewey's arm around me and do that whole drunken person thing where the two drunks try to walk each other home.
Yeah. Are we all
Don't know
trying?
where we're going, but we're going somewhere.
You're walking into town.
and
You get a good 100 feet before you're like, we don't have a base of operation.
Nope.
You know roughly where the warehouse was, but
nope.
And my
you were
house.
taught the code for getting in and the hours that were appropriate, which is the night. Otherwise, it's not.
You know my house.
You do know where Diana's house
Yeah,
is.
I was gonna say, try and head that way. Is the plan?
Join in on the
Dewey.
awkwardness.
Dewey. I wanted to keep Wilfred.
It's
I
cool,
already
don't
gave
worry,
him a
I'll-
name
I'll-
and everything.
Like I can if I concentrate I can talk to him, but at the moment I'm having trouble with my own language, so we'll do it later.
Important question.
Hmm?
Do you still have the squirrel?
That was my question.
Oh god! Oh god!
It's
Wahlberg?
gonna be like, ugh.
Wahlberg?
That was my question.
Oh,
I'm so
Sam
thank
is
you. Thank you,
deciding
Ben.
whether to break your little heart or not.
Fell asleep on him, suffocated him.
He's underneath the sheet.
He's not.
He's riding a sheep
He's not riding a sheep somewhere. No,
He's
you
as
look in
drunk
your
as the rest of
pocket.
us.
Wahlberg is there. He's definitely looking not squashed, but he's got like a big like cowlick kind of thing on his.
He's got like
He looks up at you and he just begins scrabbling in the pocket. You realise it's now empty of seed.
Oh no.
Oh, he's hating on you, man.
No, I've got no seed. I'm gonna have to get some more.
Okay. I would like to go to the nearest river or stream or anything, and I just want to just.
Yeah, there's a well nearby. It's
Am I
formed in a
allowed to use this well before I touch it?
Yes, especially the one in this area. Lift the well. Sam hasn't decided if these are like bucket wells or artesian wells yet, but it's a well, and you get some water and you can splash with it.
It's fine.
If it is a bucket well, don't fall down it.
Very true. These are facts. Okay.
Yeah, that's the extent of my morning.
I mean, if you do fall down, at least the squirrel can come running over like Lassie. So he's fallen down the well.
Yeah, but you know what the problem is? The only person that they can talk to is the person who's fallen down the well.
And not all the time, only when he casts a spell.
Yeah. Just squeaking.
It'd be like the squirrel from Ella Enchanted, just doing like the whole like.
Oh, Ella Enchanted, what a film.
Oh my god.
Right, where were we? Yes, if you make your way to Diana's old house, because they are not trying to be, I'll just say this bit quickly. Because they are not trying to be unseen, just unheard, you do see the figure of Garrick approaching the door, putting on the boots that were outside and getting the bow. As you see them, as they notice, you notice them, they walk past and say, I'm still meant to be having a job here. I'm going to go out hunting. Going to sell some stuff at the end of the day, hopefully.
Can I smell the alcohol on him?
Make a perception check with advantage because you know the smell of alcohol.
Yes.
Can you tell which brand of alcohol is a better question?
Can I smell the regret on him?
Oh!
That's soft 20 and a 9.
You can
On a
smell the
20.
lavender.
Like
Smell
Garrick,
alcohol for sure.
Garrick smelled no alcohol before they left, and you know they said that they were going home. He's either had a very drunken night in here, but then he's coming around the front. Something happened where he left this place drunk.
Yeah, I'm just like,
He didn't look like he drank heavily, but there's definitely the scent of whiskey in his breath.
he's not as bad as we are.
Not as bad. You are stumbling and you're like squinting up at him in the sunlight. But then, yeah, they begin walking. They will be heading north-northeast direction out of town.
Cool. Just gonna.
Diana and Highlight, you hear knocks at the door.
Yeah. Way before that.
I'll get a bit.
Before that,
Yeah.
we walked up. Yep.
I wake up. Try and wake up earlier than Hal. I guess he's on the floor, so I want to try and like not stand on him. Because he ain't fit in my bed, no matter how big it is.
I feel like Highlight is very compact when he sleeps. He's used to sleeping in small spaces. Smaller spaces than him, I should say.
Cool. Yeah. I'll leave my room, and then I will go to Garrick's room, and I'll like knock gently.
There's no reply.
Bit harder.
It's just a silence in the air that hangs afterwards, but you don't hear it.
Can I
Not
open
even a
the
shuffle.
open the door?
You open the door. There is a lock. You know that, but it's not locked. You see a bed that has not been slept in. You see the window is. Actually, you would have closed the window behind him, but he clearly has snuck out because he's not here. He either woke up and left earlier. No, because the bed wasn't slept in. So yeah, you know that they left and they did not spend the night.
Sigh. Okay. I can't. I'm not gonna meta game and say I want to like go out of the house, but because no. There's a knock on the door.
There's a knock at the door as you are walking towards are they outside? You see a very hungover-looking pair of smaller individuals.
You smell better than he did.
Yourself,
Mm,
him, both of you.
definitely us, but
The one with the
the-
abs.
yeah, the
Highlight
one with
isn't
as many.
bad.
No, the smaller one with abs. That's not me.
Garrick, the one that lives
A lot
here.
of people have abs.
That's the one.
D&D, everyone has abs.
I mean, I'm gonna say Diana has abs because why not? Fuck it.
Also, Doran, you got to remember that both me and Dewey, that's about the level that we usually see when we just have our heads normal height. So we identify most people by their abdomens.
So you say so your way to identify ally is his calves.
Yes.
I know those abs anywhere.
So it stops me from having neck strain.
You know, like in a future session where we're looking out for each other, we can now use this as an excuse that we can see the abs, we can see the cast, we know who that is. We don't have to rely on face. So I'm proud of us.
I like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
That
Canon.
defined bicep can only be one person. Anyway. What you mean, Garrick?
Is that his name, Dewey?
Yes. Yeah, that's the Heidi guy. Yeah.
Ugh.
Him.
Which way did he go?
That one?
That away.
Oh wow, you guys are so fucking helpful. Did you point in the same direction? Yeah.
I mean, I was attempting to point in the same direction, and then I saw Phil was using a different arm, so I was like, yeah.
Okay, cool. Am I? Oh god.
And then I'm just gonna go. He grabbed the boots and the bow
Hunting.
and
He was
said
going
he was
hunting.
going.
Oh.
He's gonna earn some money.
He's probably gonna shoot me.
Do you mind if why is he
Oh.
gonna shoot you?
Yeah. Highlights asleep. There's like an unslept bed in there, so go. You just yeah, fine. Apparently he
Sick.
has no food, and the only food he has is water. So
And
enjoy.
bread.
God, water sounds good right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should do that. I'll be back
Yeah,
in
just good.
a bit. And I want to run after Garrett.
Are you
Pretty
gonna,
sure he's gonna.
like,
my stealth is terrible.
looking-
Pretty sure he's gonna shoot me, but that's fine.
Like walk off in like a typically cool Diana way, and then just like faster, and then just.
That sun elf sure does look like a deer.
with a fast pace and that sort of gap, you catch up to him before he has left town. He's in that sort of trading sort of pavilion region where some of it's like, oh, I'll buy my wares here for small little bits, these luxury goods. And some of it is like, we're going to meet in the back tent and we're going to decide the fate of like thousands of pounds of this thing traveling this way and that. You catch up with them as they are sort of beginning to get to the sort of a road out of town from this area. And if you're not being stealthy about it, then they hear you coming before they see you coming through the crowd. People are like, watch it, elf! And there's like a clamor of people as you are running through.
So sorry. So very sorry. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, turns around like bow strung over his shoulder. A small quiver of arrows. Morning.
Hi.
Or good afternoon.
Where are you going?
Hunting. I am a lowly hunter. I am very lucky to have the house I live in, and I need to make sure I pay regularly towards the privilege of living in this here empire.
I see. You slept somewhere else last night, or didn't sleep? Looking at this face.
You are correct. I slept somewhere else last night.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I I was quite confused. Done some thinking. Did some drinking. We've been in each other's lives for a very long time. I didn't know I'd ever see you again. A lot of feelings came rushing back that I don't think ever fully got sorted. And then you told Halite you loved him and he loved you. And I decided I wasn't gonna sleep in the room next to you after that.
That's fair enough.
So,
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, forgot how thin those doors were.
he didn't do anything wrong. Nobody's done anything wrong as far as I'm aware. I just had a lot of questions that I didn't know I even had questions about. And I got my answers before I knew I had the questions. So,
I mean, you're
there we
about
are.
to I don't know. It's probably the alcohol. You're about to. I don't know. You're probably about to declare your love or something, but.
He leans back at that. It's a very big grin on his face. Oh, I was about to declare my love.
Yeah, you were.
Been a long 50 years, Diana.
Yeah.
And
I thought this was over.
I thought it was over too. But we never really said as much. We just sort of walked in other directions. Look, I thought about it, and you know, there's not a day that's going to go by that I don't think what would have happened if we just kept walking in the same direction. But we didn't, and you love someone else, and he loves you. So that's got to be the end of it. Because if it's not the end of it, then it's just a mess. And we don't need a mess right now. We need structure and order and leadership, which I saw from you last night. And yeah, maybe that brought up some feelings as well, because I've not seen that in a long time either. Look, I won't lie and say that there's no feelings there. We grew up together. I'm always going to love you in some capacity. I just have to work on loving you the right way. Because this isn't going to work because that's not going to.
Yeah.
You were always the one who had the right words.
Well.
Listen, I need to get a hunt in, because otherwise people are going to start asking questions about why the elf has a nice house. So.
Look, I get it, and I mean, hell, I thought you were dead for so long, so time healed itself, I guess. And then you knew where I was, and you never came, so
Yeah.
those feelings had to go away.
I guess we both did what we had to do to survive, and here we are.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see where we walk forward. Right now, I'm walking that way.
Opposite directions again, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Well, I echo what you said. And now I will go. Opposite directions.
Sunshine on you. And he heads the other way. You hear him, like, beginning to not mutter so much as sing under his breath a sort of sad-sounding melody. As soon as he is sure that you are out of clear earshot of him.
Probably waiting for that like soap opera or comedy show sort of thing where one of them looks back, the other one carries on walking, so they carry on walking, and the other one looks back and see them walking away.
Yeah. Does he look?
They look very stiff. They look very stiff in the way that they are walking forward and forcing themselves to just keep walking forward at the moment.
Does he look back? No.
He make an insight check if you would like to, because this is a man you have known since the two of you were children.
Yeah. Cool. The obsidian dice. Here we go.
Nice.
Amazing. 9.
9.
And
It's hard
in
to
the-
read the back of the head, and this man has changed in the time since when he's changed. You've not even been back in his company for 24 hours yet, so he's clearly got something going on. He's clearly got some feelings there, but he's spent whatever time he spent last night making the decision that right now he needs to focus on the rebellion, which echoes what happened last time you guys parted ways in a not too pleasant memory. But
But Sam's gone.
Yes, he has.
But the most important thing.
Someone horny.
No, it's someone
Damn it, didn't work this
DM.
time.
Wow.
Long campaign.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Summon DM, come back to us.
Summon emotions.
turns around. No, I really no. Okay.
Someone emotions apparently.
Yes. No, he walks into it. It's what you would know. I need to check the name of it here. I believe it's the Umber Hills or the Ochre Hills, so I named them. The hill range that are just to the north and east of Harley's Rest on your current maps. That is presumably where they're going to go hunting. Right. If I may, let's check where our token humans spent the night.
Where the fuck have you been? Oh,
Taxes.
we have that really fancy place in the fancy place.
Yeah, I'll be heading back to
Yeah,
there.
you remember that you paid for a night in a penthouse in the swanky place here, and you spent the night there.
Yeah.
Why not?
Can I remember halfway through and go, fuck?
Yeah, you remember the walk back as you were looking. I will say, because your path will sort of bring it back. If taxes, you want to say you leave the tavern probably about the time that Diana was returning to the house and the rest of the party. But let's hear what taxes did.
Taxes was fully manicured. She had like
Oh yeah.
had cucumbers over her eyes.
It is a huge room. There is a separate bathroom with hot water on demand.
Oh.
You hear the noise of your floor mate, Leonard Rents, in the other room every now and then. But they do not make particularly much noise that night. And yeah, you have this whole place yourself. You get there probably around 3 a.m. because this is where everybody else just went for their scenes, whereas you sort of said, "Oh yeah, I still got this room."
I mean, we head up there. I'm gonna like do the whole like jump on the bed, like arms stretched. It's a fucking massive bed.
Sleep in there tomorrow.
And bed, fine as silks.
I mean, I'm well happy. I would like to if I can hear Lelik like through the walls or something, just in case anything comes through, like any guards. And he's like, I know he kept saying like, I want to be helping you on this, but I still don't fully trust the dude. So if I can hear anything through the walls, and then if he's not there, I want to sneak in and take that crystal that I was told not to take.
You hear him quite clearly through the night. He does not leave his room. It is. He will stay in there pretty much mostly through the day. But make a perception check to see if you can hear any conversations, anything.
No, 7.
7. No. For most you catch is this sort of muffled squeak followed by "You don't need food," and then just lots of sound of just the sound of quill on paper, but nothing else.
And then in that case, then I'm gonna fully pamper myself, do like a long bath, leave the next during the afternoon, taking like all the soap and like all the things you can take from a hotel room.
Yes, of course the rogue steals all the soaps. Why would it?
We're there for a week. Don't take everything.
Did we pay for a week? I thought we paid for a day.
No,
We paid for a week.
A week in advance.
Oh, I take the soap and then just leave like a little note saying, "Oh, we need more." So
We-
I pay more later.
We all have a little
This
roguiness.
is
Yeah, you wake up
exactly
well
what
rested,
Sarah does.
pampered, perfumed by soaps. Yeah, and you may leave in the morning, and I will say, for convenience and because this is a D&D game, roughly that time you see Diana walking past, as you, lock eyes and go, "Oh, hey." Diana goes, "Oh, fuck, of course."
Oh, fuck.
Absolutely.
Damn. Nice.
Yeah.
Clean.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, we did pay for the room for a week.
Yeah, I know.
Shit.
I'm sleeping there tonight.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
I mean, you can also sleep there. But I
Sure,
really want
yeah.
a bath. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
really want a bath.
Okay, and then I go in my pocket and like pull out soap for her, because you probably need
Shit, soap. Yeah.
I got fucked then. Every day we're getting the towels, we're getting the soap,
Yeah.
we're getting
Yeah. And those little potion-y bottle
chocolate.
things that make you smell
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
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 Oh, getting the chocolates off the pillows and everything. Like,
Oh, so good. How the other half live, huh?
this is the best idea we've ever come up with.
I know. Best idea ever. Oh, cool.
As they're walking into the door, can I just be like, Dewey, you've got bird poop in your hair. Dewey. And then just be like, whoa, no. I can hold it down.
Does it help when Dewey just goes, Richard? Like, honestly, dude.
You see a pigeon like shuffling nervously and turning their head away from you, not making eye contact.
This is the disparity of this party of two slept in a barn, two slept like one in their childhood home, the other one slept on the floor, and then the other one went to the most luxurious place possible.
Damn token human.
Not even trying to play like a bard or anything. It's like,
Can I say like, you look and smell like utter shit and vomit has come out of your nose, and that is vicious mockery, because that's what he deserves right now.
You cast vicious mockery on me.
That's fine. That's fine.
Do you try and succeed for wisdom saving?
No.
No, roll your damage.
I don't have the capacity to try and do that today.
12 episodes in. PvP is happening.
PvP.
just to add a bit more, I look at the soap, we made a soap, and decide, no, this is too fancy for them. Check this.
Yeah.
Getting wasted.
Can I like give you a
entire
look
campaign.
like?
Hey.
Give you a look like. No.
This is no.
You take 4
Much
psychic
damage.
damage.
4 psychic damage. As it cuts to the core of like, oh god, I am a piece of
Hold on. Since I am a rules lord, don't you do that extra damage because you're level whatever now?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
assumed that was with the extra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than a
Yeah.
D4.
3 and a 1.
Oh,
And you have disadvantage next attack.
Just attack roll.
Good, because I'm going to grab the nearest object, regardless of what it is, and poorly throw it at their legs.
Yeah, make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Should be a
Well, you can
natural
decide
one.
whatever you can decide whatever the nearest object is. I'm not actually trying to hit them. I'm just trying to throw it at them.
Pillow.
Roughly where you are, it would be like just a metal.
It'll be the bucket.
Yeah,
That
it'd be
was
a
a
little
natural 20, so
metal pail. 17 plus. Yeah. What's your AC, Diane?
16.
16.
Shield,
7...
you bitch.
Yeah, you got a shield. 16 plus.
Oh, that's not worth
that's
a shield. I'll just take the
20.
fucking pillow.
Yeah, but you
Not
unleash this psychic taunt, and then just with a flick of a wrist, this bucket comes sailing through the air and just hits your shin.
Ow!
Just an improvised weapon roll,
Mine.
D4 as well.
mine will heal, but you'll have a bruise, motherfucker.
Sure.
2 points of
2
damage.
points of bludgeoning damage as we just pong as we just slam.
And with that, I'm just gonna wherever I am, I'm just gonna lean against the nearest thing and just go back to sleep.
Oh, night then?
Yeah. Is there a bath in the house?
There's one in the backyard.
Yeah, there's like an old copper tub that is quite green now. But it
yeah.
something.
I will try and wash the drunk out of me.
Yeah, it takes a couple tries, but you get there. With the bread that Garrick had here, you are able to sober up a little bit from the hangover. You, as a party, are back together, and you, at my request as a DM, could realize that you are going to have a couple of weeks until this moment where you might be able to strike something governmental with a little bit less defense, because it will be Ivan's Wake, as we've discussed before. You can tell me that you want to do stuff right now, today, and we'll go and do that. But as a party, can you discuss at this point what your plans for the next 2 weeks would be? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Bree has
Any
forgotten.
Birdie want to go first? Probably not Bree.
Yes,
I'll-
please.
Part of the idea was we need to try and whip them into shape a little bit. I think was part of the idea. Yeah. Teach some of the ones that don't really know how to fight.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
So some more sort of martial training for.
If we're doing that, then I would like to see if I could possibly take charge of that with Halite.
Yeah.
Highlight is
Because
not
I've
much of a
got the-
teacher.
I know, but I have the soldier background, so
But you are an incredibly good target for the
You
training
make
on
amazing
Yeah,
targets.
and not
Right.
taking damage.
no, but
As soon as Highlight
see,
says they can
I-
fight me, everyone screams.
no, but you are a rune knight, which means you do have understand the stances and things like that, which means that you can help me teach them. Whereas I
Yeah.
can't because I have forgotten all that shit because I'm a drunkard.
Well, I guess I could try. I mean, I just do it. My mom taught me how,
Bless him.
but you know.
That bit we're gonna repeat that bit.
All right, I can try. I had an idea though, guys.
Mhm.
Since this is like the trading capital of like, the empire, right? That's what they said.
This is where all trade sort of has to pass through, so deals are made here. Yeah, it's a lot of places rely on trade because of their access to the sea, access to particular bits. But this is this is where trade all has to pass through on its way to the northern kingdoms, really.
Well, our major strategy so far has just been hitting caravans, right? So instead of hitting them, why don't we try and tamper with the equipment that's going into the empire? So, like, say weapon caravans come through here, maybe we tamper with the weapons, and so if they try to use them against us, they won't be so good. Like, strategically break them where they wouldn't notice, or if they do notice, they won't be able to use them.
That is a wonderful idea.
I don't know. It's just a
Counterpoint,
thought.
Halite.
Yeah,
When have we ever succeeded at being stealthy?
that's what that's it was just an idea.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea, but not with us.
No, why don't you get the blacksmiths who are currently working on stuff for the Empire, weapons, get them to weaken it.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, just, do the thing where you make the joint connecting the handle to the sword bit just slimmer, so when they give it a good swing, it would snap. But it's disguised by the handle. I could do something like that, yeah.
It's a good idea. How do we protect the blacksmiths from repercussions?
Well, that's kind of why I wanted to hit the trade routes, not use the blacksmiths, but,
Well, I think the idea would be they make all the weapons until they realize, and then by that time they're gonna be somewhere else.
Okay.
Training with us.
That sounds like a bard of eloquence to persuade a couple of those blacksmiths into that.
Well, maybe we won't damage them too badly, but like if the Empire goes to a full-out war again, they'll be fighting at a disadvantage. But they should be good for using them, normally.
They won't notice until they actually fight.
Yeah, but like maybe a drawn-out war would cripple them more so. They won't have any backup weapons if they get lost or anything. And they're probably, since they've just finished fighting a bunch of people, they're probably going to need a lot of new weaponry to stock up for whatever they try to take over next. Right? Because a lot of weapons probably damaged and returning to blacksmiths to be repaired, or just getting new ones altogether. So it might be a good idea, I don't know.
And also useful, I guess, would be getting those same blacksmiths to make ones that aren't knackered for us.
Yeah, I think Siege. No.
Oh, Siege is a Smith.
Siege. Yeah, that guy was. I think he's also doing that.
Yeah, in that case, I imagine Siege probably has a forge, like, in there. They've got, like, a mountain hideaway or something, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Or in mines or something, so that's... okay.
I thought we could use that as a secret-ish base.
Yes.
Secret base, it would be.
Yeah.
What we could do, instead of maybe weakening the weapon itself, maybe just blending a new, something in with the iron, so just the metal overall is weaker. So maybe it looks fine, but once you give it a good swing, it will bend or something.
What you're referring to is pig iron.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yep. Pig iron or cast iron. You try and use it. Cast iron will shatter. Pig iron will bend.
Yeah.
So maybe we can do something like that, so it looks fine.
Pig iron is easier to hide. Cast iron, it looks like cast iron.
Yeah.
Because it's blackened.
Yeah. So we can try and do that instead of maybe, so instead of fucking over the blacksmiths, we fuck over the metal that the blacksmiths are using.
Mm-hmm. So there's a few things here. Will this work? Absolutely, in some capacity. I want this to work as a DM, so yes, it's going to work.
I had a good plan.
The army have just taken the Eastern Ridge as of, at this point, somewhere... Bedlam Benalicia was 3 months ago, so now it's getting closer to 6 months.
It's about half a year.
Yeah. The dwarves obviously had a lot of forges there. They were using it for their own weaponry. So a lot of resupplies there are being used with those forges. But anything that's more like domestic armies, like standing guard, that kind of thing within, especially in the region of Colovia and in the region of Fenrion and Halcyon, for rather than like the front line, more like for defending a city, definitely this is the kind of place that they would be getting their weapons from, or if they're not getting it from here, it's trading through here.
Where does the Empire normally mine? Because I know this mountain I point to a window and point to a giant mountain.
The entirety of the southern half of the continent at this point.
You may make a history check if that is a question you are, and somebody can choose to assist if they have knowledge of either particular knowledge of the Eastern Kingdoms, dwarven culture as well would also work.
What about the area around here?
14
Area
for Hello
around
Flash.
around here specifically wouldn't help in this one because this is much more recent history.
Highlight is 14 without advantage. If
Cool.
anyone's helping, then they can add advantage.
I would say roll at advantage because you have people in the party who have a little bit more knowledge, at least a dwarven culture.
That's a 2. So 14.
You would know that, especially as some of you are indents as well, you know that quite a large population of dwarves have been taken to a camp called Causeth that has almost essentially become its own town now by the amount that they are mining and digging. You know that that is northwest-ish of Vinin itself, but they are just essentially throwing people who have training in mining, which is a lot of like almost cultural and tradition that dwarves learn how to mine. They are being just thrown at this mountain to see what they can get out of it.
What was
Beyond
the town
that,
called
on the
again?
floor, Causeth.
Yes, I see. Okay, cool.
Beyond that, you don't know what else they're doing there apart from they're mining the shit out of it.
Maybe we can get some, they're probably not going to have any humans mining. So maybe we can get over there and try and get some, try and convince them to help. Because I'm assuming they get most of them metal from this mountain or these mountains. So if we can corrupt the whole metal supply, then they won't have any backup weapons. Maybe.
Yeah. It's a big resource, the entire Virtues of Osman, but it's certainly, it's their main source of fresh metal, fresh ores to fresh weapons and fresh armor.
That it is far though. That's the thing. It's very far away. That's beyond
a
beyond
long-term
the capital.
plan, maybe.
Yeah, but that's definitely something for the future because if we can muck stuff up there, then that's a severe blow against the Empire because they get so many resources from there. But there's a lot of non-humans there, so
Yeah.
I just thought
Maybe he doesn't know that, but
not a 2-week job, certainly.
a longer
a long term. Yeah.
Long term.
Do we have a plan of what we're actually doing? Like, are we doing a big thing in 2 weeks time? Did you say it was 2 weeks?
2 weeks time is when you have that holiday. You know the guards are going to be. It's going to be less of a guard around the government buildings because they're going to be patrolling the streets or be on taking the time off as holiday and revelry. You would know that in the Empire, this has a name, and Sam will try and remember it, and this is subject to change.
Osland's Care or something?
Yes, Osland's Care was the name for the endless night thing, and I think we're changing all that around a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Sam was just got Osland's Care.
Yeah.
You would know that the solstice is this longest night of the year. Work in progress is usually a time when the spirits of departed are communed with as part of the night of endless sleep. Emperor grants no such communion with the dead, and instead decided that the best wisdom comes only from those who live to tell it. And so this is Captainalis, when there is a feast for all the captains of the Empire. They share stories of their victory, and everybody else is basically to use this time as a day of reflection on the wisdom of those who have been near death but lived. Ivan's Wake instead is considered Resolution Day in the Empire, where you first of all resolve yourself against the coming winter as it is starting, and make resolutions for yourself should you survive the winter, is the idea. So think of it as a New Year's Eve at the start of winter, where you say, let's resolve ourselves to survive a winter, and if I survive winter, I am going to blank. Work in
Can I just
progress.
say again, as a player,
Makes me sick.
I love everything you've done there. As Zeke,
Yeah, it's
the
gross.
entire fact that
So gross.
that they have done away with all elder veneration makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, 'cause I saw you had written it, and I was like, I am disgusted.
Yeah.
And I love
It's
it.
so good.
You don't
And I
ask for
hate
dead
it.
and the old for wisdom. You ask for young and the brave and the people who've been out there and lived and fought.
They've
It's
changed like our holiday
Yeah.
into something so disgusting.
That's the complete flip of it.
Yeah, we're
No,
gonna
the
not
dead
only
have no
we,
wisdom.
Capitalization
The
of it.
living have the wisdom.
not only like did they kill our families, they are now celebrating that fact instead, and we have to watch it and celebrate along with them.
Captain
I am
Alice!
so
It's
good.
very much the victors write the history.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, what have we got ideas on what we want to do to mark that wonderful celebration?
I know what I want to do.
No, please don't do that. Probably shouldn't do that.
What?
I
Why,
assume
what-
you're gonna burn something.
No.
Ah, yeah.
I
It
mean-
pulls out like a little note.
There might be some sick burns in like how you like tore apart my ego this morning, but
Yeah, do that again, by the way. An unlimited
don't.
amount of time. A
Please
day,
don't.
as it were.
There's no ego left to burn. Chill.
I can find some. There's some deep in there.
Please
Anyway.
don't.
All right.
Yeah,
So what's your thought? What do you think we should try?
you got a lot of birds, right, Dewey?
Oh god.
Yeah.
I look outside the window, it's all on the.
Yeah, just the whole roof. Is just... You look outside the window and you see a couple and you're like, yeah, I guess, but they're all on the roof above.
How do you ever stealth? I have no idea.
Everyone's too busy watching the birds to notice me.
It was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is happening? It's a sign of the
Taxes.
apocalypse.
Mhm.
You're real good at writing real things and making them look all fancy and shit, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Diana, you're really good at tearing apart people's egos.
Yeah, what's your point?
I want to get Splitlick to make a little thing that we put onto the birds, and then we get them to drop all messages across them while they're trying to do their big festival talking about things. I want to carpet bomb the
Fly
entire
bomb.
place with our propaganda.
Honestly,
That's so
I
cool.
want to talk about all the things that we have done to piss off the Reeve, and the fact that the rebellion is alive, and all these other things. I just want to just blanket the city with it.
I also have a thing that can tie in with that, actually. Yeah.
We should also give the Reeve a really inappropriate nickname.
The Bard of Eloquence.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Yeah. Is that Sam? Is that something that mechanically
is
I
possible.
could
Yeah,
get
but,
my burbs to do?
What I would say is we've said that they are able to just help you spot on some occasions or treated them as part of your actual action to do that. This is something a lot more mechanically. No, they need to be carrying this message. You would be able to use your. We have discussed that there is an extra spell that you're going to have available, which will help you do this to a certain capacity. The difficulty is going to be range. You have control of your swarm around you, and they follow you. You need to be close to the city. You can't just say, fly 5 days that way, then drop it off and come
Oh, yeah,
back.
yeah.
I have an idea for that.
Unless you train pigeons to do it, which is entirely possible.
I do have an idea for that, though. That could
Yes.
tie in with the thing that I wanted to do as well.
Okay.
So yeah, what I wanted to do was I wanted to write a couple of songs. One, wait, I'll go into that in a minute. One, what was the song that I wrote? What was it called?
The one that you've written.
One that is in the Discord.
You've written a bunch.
Well, that's the actual song that I wrote. Shit.
Ripped Apart?
Ripped Apart, that one.
Oh, that one.
Sorry, I forgot. Not that it's in my head all the time. Ripped Apart. Another song that is aimed at bringing in humans specifically. So basically, it's a horrendously racist song.
Ooh.
For people to sing in taverns, and if people are completely disgusted, then those are the people we should get on board. I suggest you don't read it after I write it. Okay.
No, sorry. What? Like a pro? Oh, what? So we we write a
Pro Empire.
Pro Empire, really pro segregation.
Yeah.
Song that if you see a human go, that's awful, I'm leaving. But you're probably not a piece of shit. Have you heard about the rebellion?
Exactly. So if you did it the other way around,
real smart.
So if you did it like the other way around, where you were to like big up the Empire or like big up the Indents or whatever, then you're not gonna get the same reaction.
They'd lock you up, kick you out of town, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that too.
So you wanna do that way around instead. So I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna write the Ripped Apart on a piece of paper, and maybe we can take these like flyer things as well and send them to each town. There is someone. We've just learned yesterday that there was someone in each town who's starting just like a spark of a rebellion. So you get them fired up with Ripped Apart. You get them fired up with these flyers, and then maybe they have a way and a means of distributing them on that day.
Here and dropping our mixtape onto.
Yeah, so you're going to bird deliver a diss track followed by followed by a horrendously racist jaunt to smoke people out, and Ripped Apart to say this is what we're fighting for. This is
Exactly. Learn this.
I will just quickly add. You do remember, or you might not, but Diana definitely would. Ripped Apart was the song that you left the crowd with before the Battle of the Bands, before you had the whole conversation. So any member of the crowd who hear that would not only know that you guys are alive, but they'd know you're still in the fight as well.
Yeah. I would also
I fucking love this plan.
I'd also like potentially to ask if it's safe enough for a representative of each of the rebellions in each of the cities to come somewhere that we can meet.
The mine hideout in the hills?
Possibly.
Yeah.
And meet there at some point.
Well, no, that we shouldn't send them to our main base of location just because they're followed or something.
Okay. That's true. So, yeah, we meet them at like a neutral ground or something. So maybe somewhere that's like in the middle. If it's Harling's Rest, then we'll meet here. Then we'll meet somewhere outside of town, and then we'll weed out the traitors.
We could do that in code, so it lessens the likelihood of traitors.
Like how they did to us.
Yeah. So also, two encryption techniques, code, and also I have something that I read in the book / my dad mom told me, that was fun, called illusory script, which means I can write shit and they won't be able to see it until it needs to be seen, I guess. And it lasts 10 days.
Okay.
So should be able to get where it's going.
Yeah. Especially as the bird flies. I have also a bit of a personal one, I guess, that I would like to do.
Yes.
Most of Oz Nemesis is still alive, and in not very good standing right now. I would like if we can work on maybe trying to get those guys free.
Yeah.
Especially, fuck, I forgot one of their names. No, not true fan.
So you've got Yesley, who is the barbarian.
Yesley, I meant Yesley, especially Yesley.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
being killed and brought back to life all the time.
That is gonna fuck with your brain.
That's gonna fuck with a lot.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's potentially and also then Banasta.
Okay.
Because as soon as they learn all of his secrets, then he's no longer in use to the Empire, right?
Yeah.
So he's on borrowed time.
Yeah. I
think Xena's kind of okay. She's kind of more of a
she's okay.
mole right now, yeah. So I think she's fine.
She's tough. She's a tough cookie.
And then obviously Zebby is
yeah.
also on borrowed time, but
yeah. So I think we have short-term plans and then long-term plans, and maybe mid-range plans. You know. Just plans. And I think that could be in the longer term plans is to get them out. This is not like a 2-week thing.
Yeah, I have a question as well.
Yeah.
What's our goal? Like, what's the outcome that we want? Kill Osnin, free everyone? Is that the main plan?
Freedom!
Very good question. What is the objective of the Empire? Not the Empire, of the rebellion against the Empire.
The objective.
Full, complete dissolution, or is it to get change written into law?
Is to at least get change.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to kill everybody. That's not what I want. I don't even necessarily want to kill Osnan.
I
do.
do.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but I don't necessarily need or want that. If things change, with
if we kill,
still on board, then I don't know. Then fine, but
if we kill, then like we just become the monsters they teach their kids that we are. So
yeah,
we need to.
If we kill him, as much as I would love to do it, all we're doing is essentially creating another war.
Yeah.
Then we capture him, maybe.
And this time we won't be in armor and with weapons. It'll be in the streets.
Yes.
We need to.
And it'll be the civilians.
Not even capture him, because I don't think we could ever do that. I mean, has anyone ever seen him?
No, I have no idea what he looks like.
None of you.
Nope.
No.
So
you'll have seen depictions, images, mostly on holy pamphlets or statues.
Yeah.
But are they as alike? How much of a likeness are they? Are they like Jesus on the cross with his ripped abs and his?
It depends. Make a religion check if you'd like to. But yeah, Ben can have more influence.
Honestly, the way that I was imagining these propaganda depictions is literally how the Emperor of Man in 40K is depicted. Instead of it being like instead of it actually being like this shriveled husk that's attached to a chair to keep him alive, it's literally this god being that like towers over everyone and like 20 foot tall with gold literally radiated out of him.
Like a stained glass window.
Yeah.
How Queen Elizabeth used to pay off all the painters that to make her look really pretty when she was but ugly.
You would know as well. It depends on what kind of temple they are in. If it is a temple devoted to the mercy of Osnan, they are usually have open arms. If it's to their might, they are usually wielding a weapon above their head. In all depictions, they are shown as they were, which is with a disfigurement covering their head in a black iron mask. So that there's never really an expression beyond their body language. It's just glory, their mercy, or their wisdom. They are usually depicted as arms crossed, looking slightly more aloof and intelligent. not like nose of the book kind of thing, just more like I know all, I care for all, and I am better than all. I am stronger.
What a prick.
Yeah.
He is a god. That is how you depict your god in the Empire.
It is.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've killed
so-
gods
What a
before.
bell end.
I love that Allied just fully believes they have killed gods.
Killed a god before.
Nice.
Gonna
Should write a song about it. Yeah, so my point, I guess, was that none of us have ever even seen the guy.
And all the pictures got this weird mask on.
So,
Yeah.
if we haven't even seen him, then there's no way we can get him. He's guarded and protected,
true.
like wrapped in bubble wrap and shit. So
I guess maybe we can try and ask Senna if we ever get a chance. Like, work it into a coded message back or something, maybe.
Isn't one of his sons in charge of Ben Alicia?
Absolutely. You would not even need a history check to roll that. You know that Balin Osnan, technically Balin Calvia, although they often go by Osnan so that they are immediately recognized, is the ruler of
there.
Ben Lycia and by extension governs Fenrion. You would have probably seen him a couple of times from a distance. He is a bulbous, corpulent form of a man who leaves most of the governing day-to-day to his reeve and people beneath him so that he can just enjoy decadence.
We
Maybe there's
could
something there.
very well take them.
Yeah.
Do we know? Is it common knowledge that does he have 2 sons and a daughter?
Oh god, you're testing sound now.
Only because I read this like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one
Yeah,
called
2 sons,
Elizabeth.
Make
and-
make a history
Yeah.
check.
Cool. Amazing. Not-
Roll low so Sam doesn't have to remember too much.
Can I roll with advantage?
If somebody is trying to help you, you loudly announce
No.
this.
Cool.
You're trying to compile. Oh wait, no. There's this one here. There's this one there. The religious script
Okay,
I
that's
read
better.
said
That's a 19.
19. You definitely know about Balin. You know that nearby Salaton in the north, the ship port that is that short jump to Sarai, and hence where most people will make for crossing that one day of the year when the rapids are traversable. That is ruled by Elizabeth Osnan Calvia, who is the commander of the Cerulean Corsairs. She is a military-minded bitch of a tyrant ruler. But you do not mess with her. She does not take prisoners. She sinks ships that are trying to get away.
There is
I want to mess with her.
also, yeah, I know.
There's also Briar Osnan Calvia, who is the current installed ruler in Woodhurst, the oldest city in Colovia. Well, not even a city. It's technically just a town. That it is basically has deforested a large area around it where it used to sit on a hill in the middle of a forest. There's now deforestation around it. You know that was originally on a 19, you know originally there was a different noble house that ruled there before Otton installed their son into governing the area. There's rumors they're not too happy about that, but they serve the Empire anyway.
That one, the one who doesn't give a shit. I don't know what I want to do yet, but it's in my brain.
Maybe we can get one outside.
Do we know the order of succession?
You know that we do now. You know that Elizabeth is the eldest, followed by Briar, followed by Balin.
I love this Elizabeth one.
So I would say then that probably our goal should be to try and flip Briar or the circular entity of a human being.
Yeah. Well,
And then probably our target is to somehow disinherit Elizabeth.
I should clarify.
That'd be...
Briar is... You don't know much about Briar, but you know you don't know the name of the house on that check. It's an older house, you know that. That house still lives there, helps keep the peace, but they basically had their family home taken by the Empire and said, right, he's in charge now, my son's in charge.
That's
and
the
you
one.
don't think they're happy about that.
So when
Briar's probably loyal. The house are. There are rumors that the house are not particularly happy.
So Bree, when Bree was reading about it, and I was like, fuck, those people.
Yeah.
Those people.
I know, but out of the three, Briar is the next in line after Elizabeth. We will not be able to flip Elizabeth. And the literal donut of a human being is not someone we should put in charge. So trying to flip Briar.
He's malleable in that you could probably get him.
Yeah,
as long as you leave him alone,
malleable as in you could push him from one side and the most of his body will go the other way.
We'll roll him to the throne. Anyway, no.
Yeah.
I mean, people like that could be useful. A puppet king.
True. I will also say at this stage in discussions where we're getting into the nitty gritty of the end game of what you want to achieve. At some point after talking here, you will correspond with the Harriers. You will see that Vexation has been up all that night, trying to think of other kinds of plans. Not a big end game plan, but like a what can we do?
Yeah.
They have come up with two things that they think could help in general. One is if we need to get people to rally to us and they need to come in this direction, going by the King's Road or the Emperor's Road, the People's Road, whatever I called it, not a great idea. You're going to get caught, and big groups of indents, especially big groups of lesser races, especially indents, you're going to get seen there. But conveniently enough, you guys just spent the last few days hacking a path through Fenbeyond Forest. There are still dangers in there, of which you are aware. You fought some of them off. But there is a bit more of a circuitous route there. If you have somebody on either end, and potentially some people who you trust, high-level people, warriors, to help guard people, they just have to make it to Forstalia, really, and then they can get into the forest and move their way all the way to Harling's Rest without getting harassed by it.
So I'm glad you've gone on to the same idea, because I literally was going to suggest it to... I can never remember her name. Vexation, thank you. And was just going to suggest that probably what their group's best off probably trying to implement is guerrilla paths or guerrilla paths. You know, path networks throughout cities, throughout various areas, like trying to establish where is safe, where is not, where. Like,
as part of that, she will say she's had some contact, as she was saying in her heated speech, with the Belmare Rebellion. She doesn't know too much about them, just that they have horses and they have said, oh yeah, we move fast, kind of thing. That's all she really knows about them. She's just like, it's still in the early stages of, am I writing to a spy, am I not, situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the 2-week plan. Oh yes.
The other thing she said is she's starting to think of a way to try and get Os Nemesis out based on what you have told her.
Yes.
Because they are obviously incredibly high asset people. She is very much about the spirit of symbolism behind Rebellion as well, and getting them out and free. It would definitely be a good thing for Rebellion. She, all that she has so far is knowing how much they can endure, and knowing that she is in Itabi's quarters. She knows that Yesli would quite happily survive a very large explosion, whereas everybody else in the building would not. So that's something. She also knows that if you can get to the cathedral and you can either infiltrate that or get in there fast enough, that's both Zebi's corpse and Senna. But once you do that, once you rescue Os Nemesis, there's no going back. That is we have made an act against Benalicia.
Yeah.
She needs more information about where Barnasta is, and she thinks the only way you're going to get more information about that is probably from Leluc, who at the moment doesn't know but can keep digging for you. Yes.
That is another thing that I was going to do before he left.
Yeah.
He's here for the 2 weeks?
I said he was going to report and then he was going to start heading back, so we can have that, like, one of the first things you do is you go and talk to Leluc. It has to be a bit surreptitious, but I'll say he stays one extra night, so you do have that room next to him to actually facilitate that conversation.
Cool.
Yes. Highlight withdraw.
Highlight hugs vexation.
Highlight hugs. She's like bags under her eyes as she's like still explaining it, and you just lift her up and she's like, oh.
Thank you. I put it down.
It's not a plan yet. It's just mad scrawlings on a wall.
That's all I need.
I don't get
you.
a fucking hug. Anyway.
You get more than a hug.
You get laid on the regs.
Oh, I didn't think that we were using that as a thing. That's fine, whatever.
But she does point out that will be a time where there'll be fewer guards in a building, especially if we're worried about, for example, the use of indent guards in an area with high explosion.
If anything, the guards that will be used on those holidays will be indent guards.
Yeah.
Well.
The ones that don't get to go and celebrate or go on the street.
So if anything, we probably want to rescue them when actual.
But you have a higher guard presence to deal with. It is the trade.
We want to kill as less indents as possible.
Even
if it puts us more at risk.
Funnily enough, she doesn't disagree.
She
agrees.
I liking this person more and more every day. I'm just saying.
She just says she doesn't want to kill indents.
You're not allowed. God damn it. Do you not know the rules?
You have your Garrick.
Oh, okay. You know what? Are we gonna do this? Are we doing this right now?
Garrett keeps a distance from this. Is not getting involved. Phil, did you have something as well?
I was gonna. Are we going ahead with the flyer bombing?
I think that's the biggest thing we
songs
got for now.
Okay, so that sounds like the main focus for 2 weeks is for flyer bombing, potentially the song as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So then, I think that in the 2 weeks, I'm gonna write everything and spend some time doing it all in the illusory script.
That's gonna be a lot.
Get these flyers, put them all in a nice little rebellion, nice little pack.
Okay.
Meet me. Yeah. And then I guess, do we have some kind of messengers? Do we have messengers there?
If you ask the Harriers, they will say, will remind you, the trade network that will take money under the table to get places where they need to go. Garrick is the one that spearheads that and says, I know how to talk to these people, I can get a message to somewhere. There is some gold investment. They obviously danger money, because if they are caught moving this, even though they are usually not audited, they sometimes are. So we are looking at about 20 gold pieces per small package that goes to somewhere in the Empire. Because it's not like, if it's all the way over there, you have to pay me loads more. They don't want loads of money suddenly appearing on their books unchecked. And if they're going there anyway, it's just stuck under the bottom of a pile of.
So I suppose it depends on how many flyers and how big is a small package.
Yeah.
We have quite a bit of gold, so.
Vexation will show you how she used this technique with different layers of paper. If you remember, the message asked you to come, didn't tell you where until taxes held it up to the light, and then you could actually see the message. She shows you how to do that, how to encode a message so that it doesn't say anything until you hold it up to the light.
Cool.
It's not foolproof, obviously, but it's just that extra little layer of somebody holding onto this will eventually notice it. But it's not the first thing you see, and it could look innocent enough and could be handed back kind of thing before it gets caught out like that.
So with the illusory script.
Yeah. Let me look at the spell as well.
I was going to say, does it say how many you can put it onto? Is it just the one item?
I could do it.
You can cast a spell again and again and again. It has a material component, which is 10 gold pieces worth of a lead-based ink, which a spell consumes.
Okay.
So do make sure you have that. But I believe you got some gemstones to trade as well.
Yeah.
Lasts for 10 days.
Basically,
Should it be
one per city, I guess.
Yeah.
Do we have like a logo or a symbol of the rebellion?
Not currently. Else Nemesis had their symbol. You have your symbol, but a unified symbol of a rebellion has not been established. The Harriers show you their symbol, which is a hawk gripping an arrow.
That's cute.
What we should do, you know, when we all get the representatives, we all should sit down and make all the symbols combined together to show that we're all united.
Yeah. Maybe that's more of a getting the leaders together and thinking of one.
Yeah.
I might retcon the hawk arrow because I realise that's very Mockingjay. But
It is.
we will.
It
Yeah.
It is very
you know.
Mockingjay.
Literally Mockingjay, but you know.
You
I
know,
was
but
say
this
if it
is,
had
you know, the actual Hunger Games. So.
It's a hawk gripping a skull. There we go.
Okay.
You can't do that
That's
one
less
either.
cute.
That's got connotations.
Are we the bad guys? Let's go.
Okay.
Hawk gripping. It's got to be because they're Harriers. It's got to be a hawk in person. A
hawk
hawk gripping a loot.
There we
Makes
go.
sense. It's Harling. It's Harling's Harriers. A hawk gripping.
There we go. That makes sense. Yeah. I think that's our 2-week plan.
Cool.
Are we
Well,
asking?
We don't want to hit anything under that.
No.
We don't wanna...
Are we
okay.
are we asking to meet with the representatives of the other rebellions, or we just wait until it kicks off and then do it, or
Establish contact, I would say. Probably try to get an idea of numbers is probably what our best first.
I would like to establish contact before too many eyes are watching the roads.
Yeah.
All
Alright.
that.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll write that in the same note.
Cool. This is going to be a persuasion roll because you are trying to persuade these people to, first of all, believe you, and second of all, travel quite a long distance to meet you and discuss things.
No pressure.
No question.
26.
26. Very, very good. It reads really well. It's not like there's an appeal to this sort of symbolic language of we must rise, we must do this, but it's also very factual. Here's how, here's why. Here's a path through the forest if you want to do that. And it gives you, I will allow you to choose where you designate as the area that you plan to meet. I will say it makes sense to leave quite a long gap of time because it took you just over a week, week and a half to travel from Benalicia to Fenrion.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get representatives as far as Woodhurst or even from the Eastern Kingdoms, it's gonna be a long journey for people to get here.
Yeah.
So if you say a time, people know I have to set off now versus I have to set off in a month.
Are there a set of ruins or anything like that?
Well, the place where we killed the gods. Maybe there.
That is certainly a place that you're aware of and could find again.
That is actually a really good shout.
Yeah, it's got all the old shit in it. It's hard to find.
That would actually
place where we
be a
killed the
really
what?
good.
Where to?
And it also had magical items in it, so we know the Empire has no idea
The
about
wolves.
Yeah.
He's under the impression we killed literal gods.
it. We did.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay,
Sure we did, buddy. That would actually be a really good hideout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
the Empire didn't know about it. It had magical items in there and stuff.
Yeah.
And hopefully there's
Gonna
mushroom
gonna turn to vexation and go. Vex, are we able to get some of the guys you have in the mountains to start creating a little network between those two places.
Underground?
No.
Oh,
I mean, maybe, but no.
it would take a long time.
It's
I don't.
it's a secure position that is easily defendable.
I have a thing.
And the door's
So,
intact.
If we're gonna use this as the base for everything, I don't want to meet these people here.
Oh no, not for everything, just an outpost.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a good idea that we meet these people here.
I mean after we've met them,
Okay, yeah, cool.
because then they know where to meet us.
Yeah.
At,
But
like
you are on
when
about
we
meeting them at this place.
Oh yeah. So meet them at that place. Yeah.
No.
But then.
Because
No,
we don't know
not
who
at
they
all.
are.
Well,
Yeah, it is quite.
if we keep it as an outpost, either before or after, we can sort of move our people out when we need to. But if you don't think it's a place, then it's not a place.
No, just because we are asking, we are sending, we are encoding these messages, but we are sending them out into the Empire.
So
Yep.
why don't we meet them somewhere else first and then tell them about that location?
If they are
Afterwards.
trustworthy enough, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. But
Yeah,
straight
So we
away,
just say
it's not.
we have a place in mind. It's accessible by people. It's hidden from the Empire, but we don't say anything about where it is until they actually say we're
We
in.
say in person, yeah.
Yeah, we see them in person. They don't try and kill us, and then we're friends.
Kind of like how you told us to meet in the bar when you actually have a cool hideout base over there.
Oh yeah, we didn't want an army. Marching.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You didn't
exactly.
trust
So we
us, yeah,
gammed,
exactly.
and then you told us in person where to meet. You know.
Yeah.
So we do the same thing, but like on a bigger scale.
Exactly.
All right.
Smart.
That's a good idea.
We will find some.
A couple of good ideas. Nice.
We are getting close to 10 o'clock. I think we need a break. I certainly do. When we come back, we will have the conversation between either Diana and Taxis with Leluc just about information, because that was something that is lined up as a scene, or just Diana and Leluc if that was all that was
I would
planned.
like to talk to him as well. If that's
It's
possible,
going to
guys.
be more difficult because they need to get you into the room, but they can do the same thing where they ghost out the window and ghost back potentially in the dead of night. The more people crowded around in the dead of night, the more chance we are spotted. So the fewer you, the better.
Do
but
taxes as well.
taxes as well. Let's do that then, and we'll have
Gotta
the
get
three of
all
you
that
there
sorted.
having that conversation. That's how we will start back up, and then I will not float another idea, but you'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
Cool. So we say 15, 20 minutes, aim for 15, and hope for 20. Cool. Right. We will see you all after the break.
See you
Planning.
guys in a bit. Yay!
Planning.
Bow.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are back in our Rapid Riders campaign, where the party have been discussing what they are doing, have done, or plan to do sort of in these 2 weeks leading up to the start of winter in our homebrew setting, which is termed Ivan's Care for Winter, and the start of which is Ivan's Wake, or better known as Resolution Day in the Empire. They have had lots of plans involving martial training, trying to tamper with the enemy supplies, especially their weapons. A big plan to release pamphlets to sow throw shade at the Empire, essentially, especially how it's being managed in Fenrion, as well as producing songs to both incite rebellion and weed out which humans are not as bad as the others, which ones really don't hold those racist tendencies. Long-term plans are looking towards Oz Nemesis and how they could be broken out, as well as looking at a long-term goal. What are we trying to achieve with this rebellion? Is it full takeover, or is it just equal rights and the end of indentured service? They have also spoken and they've put some of these plans into action already. They have sent pamphlets to other, or hoping it will reach other rebel sects in major towns throughout the Empire with a message partially obscured, partially just a call to arms, and asking for reply before giving any indication of exactly where to meet. Starting that back and forth of communication across enemy lines. I believe that was everything at the moment, except for Diana, Taxes, and Halite were planning to meet with Leluc Rents, the Imperial conscript, one last time before they disappear. For brevity, I will say that the message is received and you are waiting outside as they vapor outside the window as they have done before, so that Halite doesn't have to be snuck into the human-only establishment. As you meet in the dark, in the early hours of the morning, they reappear, dust off. You see they are wearing different clothes underneath, but the same Imperial conscript sort of jacket that they have had tailored to match their coloring.
So, this is also, there was a couple of things that I wanted to add to the plan, and then this like follows on from that. So, wanted to target the bridges at some point. That'll be like later on. Blow them up.
That was the plan, wasn't it? Because the one by Ben Alicia is like one of the only bridges that you can cross. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blow it up.
And definitely slow down any army trying to get through.
Yep. And also, yeah, I was thinking more about trade. You know, like keep prodding them until whatever.
Hitting where it hurts in the coin press.
Yeah, exactly. You know, get that precious wine from Benin to other places. I read that too.
Yep.
I read it all. And also get this might be in the same. They might be in the same place as us Nemesis, but the mages.
You would know.
As much, yeah.
Yeah, you would know that Leluc would be one of these conscripts. Whether you would know the name specifically of their organization, because they are. Well, it's something you could ask them now. Actually.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, and then we're gonna go see.
And mist through the window and Leluc. Sup is it is late at night, and I'm hoping we don't get caught and nor get killed. I'm planning to move tomorrow. As far as Reeve knows, there's no sign of you or your actions here. I'm hoping you don't blow something up and immediately prove me wrong, but I trust you not to do that. I have packed my things. I'll probably be leaving within the space of 6 hours or so when dawn breaks. I have a way to contact your companion Zeke. It is one way he'll be able to get in contact with me, but my plan is every night I will send them a message to start up a conversation if they desire. Been thinking about this. Okay. Do you have any questions for me now?
Yeah. You said that you wanted to get us to do something?
Yes, I've been looking more into details and maybe a few more on the grits his teeth a little bit. On the Captain's Day, what should it be called now? The
that one.
Endless Night. On Captainalis, the day when captains are separated, there is going to be a meeting, a feast, presumably, celebrating a captain of so little repute that it's not really about him, in Orvinen. This is a small village verging on a town. It's not on most maps. It was established after Halcyon had been claimed, hence we took for Or, meaning east, and it's not important. Orvinen will play host to this Captainalis feast, and in attendance will be a significant number of me and my order, the Penitus Conscriptus, or the Penitent Conscripts. We are going to be there as a mean of trying to show our worth and our place, and at the same time, the Hierophant Emporium is going to be making an appearance. The twist to this particular feast is that because we are so sorry for having magic, we are going to use magic to make it special and try and to place in a bit, which means that those attending will beforehand and essentially on their arrival receive a mask in order to disguise their appearance. A mask which can disguise not just their face, but their race, height, weight. There used to be when magic was more free-flowing, think of it as a hat of disguise, which many of you might have heard of. This is more of a masquerading. Yeah, you can roll an Arcana check if you would like.
I like hats.
1. It's
2 minus
a
1.
disguise hat, so it probably goes over your whole face, so the hat sits on your shoulders
like
at the brim. Yeah, a sack over your head.
Then they can't see
Why
your
that's
face.
magic? It's worked magic in the past, but it's not magic as far as you know.
A hat, you could disguise your height. Wow, that's a big sack.
As far as we are aware, the Hierophant is not a particular fan of this idea, but it would help us show a little bit more credibility to some of the noble families that may well be attending. I am not exactly privy to the guest list. I am lucky to know that the Hierophant will be there. There are certain rituals or certain adaptations to the casting of spells that should do a certain thing that have been done to me. And I need to know what the clergy of Osnan's variation upon these prayers has done to me in this capacity.
That is exactly.
So I would very much...
We were gonna ask.
I am not under any sort of mind control.
Yeah.
I am on a different kind of leash. I need to behave myself, or some magic turns off, and I turn off, and I slump, and my heart stops, and I die.
Wow.
It's been proven that it works very effectively. I would like to cut that tether, but the normal casting of the spell does not have an effect like that, so I need to figure out how they did that. Which hopefully will be in the writings and musings of the Hierophant.
After... Ooh. Were you speaking? Sorry.
I was just going to say that the writings and information and documents of the Hierophant Imperium will no doubt have some value to individuals who might be seeking information. For example, I am not entirely sure where mages go when they are not wanting to be killed in the public eye, but not wanting to be let loose. Won't serve us, hopefully will serve us, such as your friend Banasta. I don't even know the name, but they must be holding them somewhere. That is the kind of information, certainly, that the clergy would have, especially the head of the clergy. Beyond that, I can't imagine the number of secrets in her little books. Hence why I'm quite keen to get into them. My skills of subterfuge are not especially good. They're not bad. I am not the sneaking type.
Same.
Say, speaking of subject, is there any chance that I've happened across any documents that would give hints?
This is a history check. The DC is 25 for hints, 30 for
21.
actually no, 21. You know that there are you've just heard the name for the first time, Penitus Conscriptus. They are a relatively recent development, a sort of organized way for conscripts to say, we are something, rather than just a random bunch of different conscripts that have been taken under the wing of the Empire. We at least have some structure to how we serve now. You know that some who are considered incredibly valuable but do not wish to serve, or aren't considered valuable but aren't considered a threat enough that they have to be killed in the public eye, like a beloved folk hero, are put in somewhere else, somewhere they can be monitored, maintained, but not killed. It's sort of part of almost like public image of like, we don't kill mages, some of them just go to prison. You don't know what that place is. You don't know where it is. You don't even know the name of it. You just know that there are whisperings and musings and hints that such a place does exist.
Do an insight check on Lilac to see if he's speaking the truth.
Sure.
That's 24.
24. You gather, similar to last time, he is quite hard to read. He's definitely trying to conceal some of the stuff. He's definitely being cagey around the spell, the leash that is cast on him in some way.
That's the thing that I particularly want to know about.
He's not giving you all the information there. He genuinely seems to be telling the truth when he says he doesn't have the whole like guest list for this, essentially a magical masquerade ball. But he does sound genuine in like, he is not a sneaky, stealthy type. He is good at talking, mostly talking and casting spells. He needs help from either somebody who's going to help him either get into that room safely or be able to get into that room and give him some information back, or just provide enough of a distraction.
I'm good at that.
Yeah, we can do that. Taxes, do you say this?
Yeah, I don't want to say. I'll do sign language.
Completely analysed him.
Completely analysed.
Yeah, if you do these, he
I love that.
he
Like,
watches you. He knows you're doing something, but he knows he cannot.
yeah.
It's very clear he cannot read it.
Yeah.
I love that. Like even if like Diana has been like serious or like intimidating, she's just like always like she's like yeah. Looks at taxes to just let me like yeah, okay, yeah, because I don't know.
I perfected like the simple nod of just like slightly lifting the chin up.
Hey up, Scar.
Oh no.
This is a raid.
Goblins have arrived.
Yeah.
Hey, little
Goblins have
Hey.
arrived. Oh no.
Goblins have arrived.
Hello. We are in the middle of interrogation of
It will be
Leathercrents,
now. It's just turned into one. It's lying.
Who has invited you to a magical masquerade ball on Capitanalis, the solstice of winter.
Ugh.
Capitanalis. It sounds more fun than what it actually is.
This is the. Yeah, I hate it.
Disregard the elderly, acquire victory.
Also, quickly,
Acquire victory.
can I do an arcana on if there's any hints of the spell that's being used? If anything, well, not sort of lines.
If Highlight's allowed, he will like.
Ben
to...
is gritting his teeth as well because Bren knows what the spell is.
if Highlight's allowed to, he would like to help in this role since he has a bit more knowledge of the world potentially and has been to Heed.
No, that's
Okay.
not gonna help here.
Okay.
Maybe I could help, but I would say I don't know. Nah.
I'm gonna say you can make, with the information that has been said, you can make an Arcana check. This is gonna be a very high save. It's gonna be 25 to have like or maybe it's this 30 to go. Oh, that sort of like moment of I know what's going on.
Yeah, it's an 18.
Can I roll
18.
also?
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, if you're both trying to do the same thing, I'll independently, then I'll let you both roll an Arcana check to try and see.
I have to get a natural
you-
20 to get there.
So I got a +9.
to get the, oh shit.
Just to get the DC. Nah,
Cool.
that's an 8.
You're both looking at him.
13.
He obviously has this very cocky pose to him. A lot of the time, anyway. He has this flawless makeup, as always. You see no scars, especially like no spell scars in particular, that tend to betray things like that. No part of him is glowing. There's not like glowing shackles around his wrist. There's no magic item that looks like it's binding him or choking him, like a Gears or Gaius collar would. Highlight.
Does he have like an indent ring, like other indents would? Or is
No, he is. He has no indent ring.
Cool.
Okay. Just
Okay,
looking
just
over
like-
to taxes and like, oh, okay, you're lying about something.
Yeah.
So this spell. That's all you know, is it?
That's all I know, and I'm trying to find out more. I know that the spell that was cast on me was not cast how it usually was, because otherwise this would not be happening.
What spell is it? Normally.
Make a... Are you trying to intimidate or persuade him?
Highlight will stand up straighter than he normally does and puff out his chest. He will intimidate.
Intimidation.
Advantage. Wow, Highlight. That's a 9.
9.
Wow, gee, what?
Oh,
This
well,
is
maybe.
I have
He's
given
got a lot on
you
his mind.
a lot of information. Trust me, it does not make a difference to your mission and what you're trying to do.
Now,
Tell
thing
me-
is, sorry.
Yeah? Yeah, if you... Yeah.
Thing is, my man, it will make a difference to the mission, because the mission, your mission, might be to get the information or whatever. Our mission is slightly different. We want to take that information and use it in a safe way that will benefit everybody. And if you're not
Yeah.
telling us everything, then how are we going to do that?
This is definitely persuasion. The DC is higher. There's not an advantage on this. This is just you.
Well, could I say something and maybe it would add advantage?
I'm going to say there's
Okay.
no... Yeah. I'm going to say essentially you guys helping is counteracting the disadvantage of him already having said no and really not wanting to talk about this if you can help.
Ooh. 24.
24. That's close enough to
It was
DC.
25,
that there's-
wasn't
that
it?
there's gonna be like, it's close enough that he would like...
Oh! It
I-
says
Plus
Bubblefucks,
one.
but I know it's Phil. I didn't do that to myself.
Is that +1? Okay, 25.
Yay! Thanks, Phil.
I mentioned that I did not want to die again in our last conversation. I was dead for quite a while, and I was brought back. And when I was brought back, it turns out that the clergy of Osnan can flip that switch on and off as they like.
Really?
So I would like that not to be happening anymore. I know it has something to do with my pact. They're fucking with that in some way, but I need to know how before I even start to peel away at the threads that are binding me.
Is that like everyone, or is that just you? That seems like a very specific thing to people who have died and brought back. Is that just for people who've died and come back, or is that?
He throws his arms out wide in a very I'm not fucking clear. I don't know if this has happened to anyone else. I presume because I was a spellcaster and I was useful, they wanted me back. I also have this, and he begins talking to you just directly in your mind. I can do this. That's quite useful. And
yeah. And did they tell you that at the start? Like, don't fuck up or we'll die?
They let me fuck up and flip-flop, flip. Yes.
That must be pretty hard, I'm sorry.
There's like a cessation in the cavalier way he's describing his own multiple deaths, and where you genuinely take some sympathy, and he's like, it weirds him out a little bit because his whole conversation so far has been, we don't trust you, tell us more, and then you just say, oh, I'm sorry, that's tough. And he's
Highlight is definitely the good cop.
Yeah, he does not know how to react to that at all. Just says nothing and just...
Highlight is the good cop in this scenario.
Look, I am not a great person. But I don't want to. Senna does not deserve a collar around her neck, and I would very much like to take the proverbial and/or magical one off of mine. So I can live my life as I would. I feel like there's some relation we can have on that.
Alright. Well, hypothetically, how do we get in? How do we get these masks?
That's what I'm working on. I'll be in contact. I should be able to organize, obviously I'll have one for myself. I should be able to organize a guest. Once we are through the door, we'll be able to then make stories. The whole point is nobody knows who you are, so it shouldn't be difficult to just say, oh, who are you? I don't have to tell you, he masquerade. The nobility does great, but this is going to play to our advantage.
During this whole masquerade thing, will you, at the end of it, will you be suspect? And if so, will you be joining us?
As long as we are not seen entering, do not take anything, just read and learn, there should be nothing to be suspicious of.
But there needs to be a distraction of some sort, right?
Yeah.
That was something I was going to ask for your advice on. We have time to plan. This should not be, I'm hoping this is not the most important thing. If it is concerning. But leave some of that to me. A distraction, distractions happen in a feast or a ball. Start a raunchy song, make a particularly dazzling show, get people looking the other way for long enough that somebody can get up there, get through, I'm working on what kind of defenses they will have after that, so I can have some more intelligence for you.
Sorry.
He begins looking around, like realizing in that moment, I am fully just. This is high treason. What I'm saying.
Yeah, it
I-
is.
Yeah.
And you will literally be switched off as soon as they know.
Perception check around us.
Yes, yes, please. Somebody make a perception check, as he is
Gotcha.
doing as well.
Yeah. So this was.
Someone other than Halite, do a perception check.
That's
Yeah.
you. You look
Ah,
around.
you
You look up for some reason.
I mean, Dewey likes to hide on roofs.
20.
20.
There we go.
You are confident you're alone, Taxes,
Good.
but he is getting jumpy.
Yeah. Okay. So, just to recap, this is in Vinin.
Orvinin. It is OR-Vinin. It is one of the. Look, it's complicated. The Empire likes to make things complicated for no reason. When we took Halcyon has Lullin and Orlin. Lull being from the old language there for west, and Or meaning east. Hence, and Lin meaning a gathering or township of some kind. So Lullin, Orlin. So when lots of people from those empires suddenly flocked to the capital, they created their own township nearby, and they called it Orvinin, or East Vinin, and for some reason that's been allowed to stick rather than shot down into the idiocy it is. I imagine someday somebody brave there will die and it will be called their rest. But for now, it's Orvinin.
Okay. And this is in 2 weeks.
This
4
is
weeks.
no. So 2 weeks' time is the start. Let me check my handy dandy
So
calendar.
it will
here.
be 3 weeks after that.
3 weeks after that. So this is 5 weeks' time. Yeah, if it's 3 weeks into winter is night under sleep, then this would be 5 weeks from today, roughly
Okay.
speaking.
Also, let us know how many masks you can get.
I will endeavor to get as many as possible. I am aware some of you are able to mimic the mask and the change in appearance without having to have the actual item.
Yeah.
Do you know how many can do that? So I'm not breaking my neck for 5 rather than 2 if that's all that's needed.
And also, do they hire musicians who are elves?
There will be music there. I will try and learn that as well.
Okay.
I have a question. So, we have a friend who knows a lot about things. And he mentioned some of the mages, instead of being killed, they just get captured and stored away.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
mentioned
to-
that.
We
Do
will.
they get-
This was
yeah,
part
but
of
do
the
they-
earlier conversation.
That
Yes.
he
Do they
literally
get-
mentioned that.
Yeah, but do they get stored in the same place, or are they just kind of everywhere in different prisons?
You don't know where they're
No
stored.
idea.
No.
Something I would suspect the Hierophant will have in her writings.
That's where we're gonna find out how.
Okay.
Something else.
Good quest to the party. If we're breaking in the read books, can Taxes break in the read books? This is like a dream for her.
I think I'm part of the distraction part.
Yeah, I wanna read all the stuff too. There's so much stuff in the
The High Leader of the Clergy of Osland is going to have some material.
Some juicy stuff.
Especially if she's going into the heart of a, hey, mages aren't too bad celebration for a religion that says mages are witches, but
Who are the guests? Who are the notable guests? Who's the guests that you are particularly excited about?
I am aware that the Hierophant will be there. I myself obviously will be there. I suspect nearly to the point of 100% that the leader of our order will be there. That is Ayastia Viprin.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put a spelling for that in.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd made a gender for them. In my head, they were a female.
I think you said
So that is
female.
Yeah.
Which I've just read yesterday as well.
Yes. We all have. It's a mix of like the DM is saying this stuff, but also the DM has written this stuff. If you want to go and read, try not to spoil yourselves too much. No. But yes, she is the one who actually took conscripts as a random spotted group of individuals to make something cohesive so that we are not just slaughtered when it is decided they are done with us. She's commendable for that, but she is firmly of a belief that this is how we must exist now. I don't think your ideals are going to have much sway. The Empire is a thing. We are in the present, and she does not wish to look to the past. She wishes to look forward. Admirable if the future weren't such a shitty despair of racism and murder.
Yeah.
Do you... Oh, Karen.
No, Karen.
Oh, do you know much about Osnin's kids?
No, should I?
Just a question.
The Emperor has children.
Okay.
I am aware of about that much. I believe they are put into some position of power. What do you want from me? This is him. This is not a DM. This is him.
I don't know. I thought you being, in the know, might you can give us stuff about them. I don't know. Just a thought.
I am not privy to every going on within the Empire. I know enough in order to be useful to them, and no more. Hence why I am trying to find out a lot more.
Also, do we need fancy clothes, or does the mask provide that?
Up to yourselves. One thing I had considered is if you just wish to wear a mask and you are of the normal human height or close enough, if you are wearing incredibly good garb, it is quite possible that nobody will know the difference because people are going to be disguised as different races whilst wearing masks. So you just have to wear the mask and people won't know if it's an illusion or not because everything looks like people in masks of different races.
So we could just wear a mask and walk in as ourselves?
As long as you're vaguely human height.
Like I could?
You could.
So you don't? Okay, cool.
I look at Taxes, and I look at Diana. You're the same height.
Yes. yes, we are.
I mean, there's a height chart. We are the same height.
I measured this.
Even you, though you are tall, could be... Yes, you could definitely... There are those who are going to be trying to be as exuberant as possible with their illusions, so...
Oh,
challenge accepted.
I can be exuberant.
Sure you can, buddy.
Yeah. I hear that in my head, even though Zeke isn't here.
Okay.
I can make you. Okay. Anyway. Okay. I think that was all of my questions.
I am going to... And he just disappears into clouds and just heads back up.
Have a nice night.
Please,
Goodbye.
I really want the thing, the shiny thing. Okay, it's gone. I'm done.
Do you ask again about the crystal?
What's the crystal do?
Oh, damn it, I had another question.
Nothing yet.
Damn it.
You know he's going to be in contact every night via Zeke if you have questions.
What's the question, Hal? Does it need to be answered
I was going to ask who the change maker was.
You If you ask that, he will say Tetuna, the goddess of magic, the waves, and change.
Oh.
Change bringer.
Yeah, I know that one.
I should
Change
hope so.
bringer. I think. Cool.
My only question is, was the window left open this time for them? Seems
He left himself from the window open. Yes, he did.
We mage hand the window shut.
No, Scratch comes up and just begins pulling on it.
Yeah.
He ties some string around it so he can do it. Just...
Aw.
Okay, cool.
Good rat.
That was all the questions.
Yes.
Back.
Time skip.
About 40 minutes later. But lots of questions had to be answered.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Have plans. I'm excited.
You have plans. As you are working on these checks, we're going to make a quick tinkering check for our engineer. Yeah, no issue. A lightweight chassis is made that can be fit onto a bird.
If he wants help, Halite will help. So
Yeah.
if you can give advantage whenever.
Oh, yeah, we'll see if we get better.
If you count Halite as advantage. That's the thing.
You started to get that real intuitive knowledge of like, okay, this goes here, this connects here. Like the thing that's glowing is the thing that's power, and that needs to go somewhere else. He makes something that be lightweight enough for a bird to carry, not a huge distance before he gets exhausted. And then the how would he do it? It would probably be that the chassis has some way of measuring height, and as long as you're low enough to the ground, it's not going to release the package. But once they sort of ascend quickly, that's when it will go, okay, release what the pamphlets, that kind of. It might take multiple trips to get all the pamphlets because birds are not
exact.
Birds can't carry loads. Unless, of course, it's an African swallow, in which case you might be a bit better off, but apart from that.
I've got some albatrosses. Can we get some of those?
Yeah.
It just so happens they inhabit this land.
I had to get a Monty Python gag in there under
I've seen some birds with really big mouths. Maybe we can put some
Yeah,
papers in there.
there's the shovel shit into the pelican's mouth and then just get to vomit everywhere.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
We meet. We can put in the letter to meet the rebel leaders in Orvinin in 5 weeks.
Yep.
Because it's right in the smack bang in the center of the Empire.
It is. It's knocking on Osnan's doorstep. It is along the on the current map, I should say. It is along the Yacht River, which connects to the Brenner River. So anything that has a river connection, they will be able to travel by river quite quickly, as long as they are able to travel stealthily. Even on the other maps that we might be looking at, as long as you can get to the river, you can probably get close enough. You can then disembark and get to Orvinin quite quickly. The other thing I wanted to say is at some point, Garrick will mention that if you're looking to just sort of drum up a bit more grassroots stuff, there is a bounty board for not like escaped criminals, more like there's a monster here that is scaring away farmers or messing with livestock. You either go and solve that for the people and say the rebellion did this for the people, or you go and do that, get the money from the Empire, and then say we got rid of it for the people and also we took the Empire's money. But it might be a bit more of a paper trace back to you. It's an idea that they float, that there are things you can be doing in this time that
sounds fun.
Drum up support and use your skills, which are combat skills, quite well.
Halite is into this idea.
If there's a paper trail, I'll just forge everything, move figures around and stuff like that.
Absolutely. With the popularity of that idea from the group, the DM was checking as well. he will point out, especially to Diana, that there is what looks like a nest of some monstrosities to the north and east, somewhere that he has scouted recently. An area where you and him would both know was the near to where the entrance to Harling's tunnel that they used to try and take back the forge, not forge, the fort, their first time. That is somewhere around there, and if you wanted to scout out if that was still serviceable in one piece, first of all, it's a perfect excuse for why a bunch of weird-looking people are going off. Oh, we're adventuring. We're going to go kill these things.
Yeah.
And then on your way back or your way there, you can say, let's just go check if this tunnel is still intact, because that might be a useful thing to have at a later date.
Yeah.
That would be, if we do that and we kill these monstrosities, that would be something that we could put on the propaganda as well.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
And it's some combat experience, so Sam has more justification in giving you a level up at some point in the near future.
Let me fight you, damn it.
Yeah.
Or killing us.
I don't let use my spells is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Highlight has a couple of things he wants to do in downtime as well.
Cool. Let's do Halite's downtime. I've got one other scene I want to do, and then if people are keen, we will set off for you guys going out to scout the tunnel / get these monstrosities almost as part of the downtime or near the end of the downtime, just before the bird bombing.
Yeah,
cool.
just before.
Yeah, with enough time that you guys are able to travel quickly and get this done in Metalmania. Cool. Halite.
Halite wants to do 3 secret things that I've messaged you about.
Yep.
He wants to write a letter to his mum in Shirai.
Yep.
And he wants to continue, if he can, learning Thieves' Cant.
Yes, Splitlick will definitely be like as you're working.
I mean, Splitlick's got a lot to do. Maybe taxes could help, or I don't know.
Yeah, anybody who's involved in that process, because you're going to have to work together to like outfit these birds, the bird bombers. There's just like the odd word that you're like, I don't know what that is, and it's either written down by Splitlick or Taxis shows you and then says it. Yeah, continuing to learn that Thieves' Cant.
Another 2 weeks of Thieves' Cant. Right. How many weeks is that now?
I mean,
5? 5 weeks.
Depends when you started learning it.
I probably learned it quite a while because I worked with Oz Nemesis.
Yeah. We had a 3-month gap. I don't know how much about you were learning it, because that's
it's more passive learning, if anything.
Yeah, we'll say 5 weeks. I think 5 weeks is a solid number to go with.
Cool. For now, anyway.
Yeah, for now. Yes, Garrick, with this trade company connection, is quite happy to say, yeah, I can get a letter to Sarai. It will be 20 gold pieces to get it under the radar of the Empire.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Does it need
Otherwise,
to be?
Yeah, it depends what you're writing in there. If you're writing, "Hi, we're the rebellion. We're at Harling's Rest. Come say hi at some point."
No.
That's gonna get noticed. But if it just says, "Hi, I love you. I'm in the Empire still," then it's probably just gonna be seen as this is just somebody writing to their relatives, and that's gonna get through fine.
It's nothing super secret in there, so no, it doesn't think it needs that.
Cool. Yeah.
I will send you the letter at some point when I have time. Smile.
Nice. I would say it's still going to be a gold piece because that's a long way to travel for this letter. I might mark that down a little bit, but let's just mark off a gold piece for now because it's got to cross Imperial borders and go in.
Highlight checks his inventory. Can I get back to you on that then?
Yeah, we can get back to it. That's fine.
All right, cool.
With that, when have you got the letter on you, Allied?
Yes.
I'm just gonna take the gold out from what Taxes gave me the other night and go, there you go, bud.
Oh, really? We're about to go kill a monster. I could probably get some gold from there. You should. Say it again, but less
Say it again, but less drunk.
Said, shush, take the gold.
Okay. I take the gold and hand it to Bragging Man.
Yeah, you guys are like in a circle. Like, gold. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I'm doing it to make a point to the tall one. Just take the gold.
Right. Cool. Anything else that you wanted to discuss there? No? Cool. Sarah, Taxes, can you make a perception check for me, please?
Dun, dun.
18.
18. As you are hanging out one night, you've finished helping your work for encoding for the day, you're beginning to walk back. You are presumably sort of making your way towards the place you paid to stay for quite a few nights.
100%.
Stepping out of the streets quite quickly and just shocking you a little bit where you like reel back a bit, you see Garrick has managed to successfully sneak up on you and get quite close without being seen. And he says, I thought you were probably the most sneaky one, but one rogue to another. Maybe not.
To me like that. Fucking harsh.
Relax. The monstrosity, I'm not entirely sure. I know it flies. So I know that I'm alright with a bow. I'm sure you know how to handle one, but it might not be the only thing out there, and I'm expecting this back. But it's been useful, especially in these kind of situations. So you better fucking bring this back. And he goes to that dagger, like one that's nearly as long as an arm, kind of thing, just into that dagger category. And he takes it off, undoes the belt sheath of it, and hands it to you with still that belt sheath attached. You can see now that it's a very mismatched thing. This is a very thin blade that is long, and the wrapping of the handle it's not very neat, but as he pulls it out you begin to see why, because it doesn't really look like a blade so much as a long thin implement that has got sharpening along the sides that it could make a slash, but it's much more meant for piercing. And you can see a couple of arcane glyphs that are along the center. He also takes a small leather bracelet off of his arm and hands that to you as well. Says, when I say don't get lost, I mean both of them. And just, bring them back, because it's sentimental at this point. It's part of something I found and picked up when I was trying to find out more for Harding, and it's pretty much all I got out of the whole experience, so...
Fair, that's fair.
Keep it safe. Can you mark a traversal pit on into your inventory?
I was going to say, can I do an Arcana as well, just to...
Yes, you can make an Arcana check.
I can check it out
24.
for you.
24.
I've got an infantry already, so
you read the arcane runes of okay, this one means this means this. You know that this, by its design and by the runes helping with the piercing right at the front, this is a +1 dagger. Additionally, you see the runes along the back refer to something like essentially tether or rope. And you see that the same runes appear along the leather band that is placed around your... It's more like a leather band with this metal plaque bent around it as well, with the inscription in there. You
need someone to identify anything? Or...
You read it enough to know that this is at least a +1 weapon, and then there's something about forming a rope between the blade and your wristband. What that takes, you would need to spend time attuning to it to figure out. But in this moment, you can just read the writing and say, huh, okay, that's what this does to a degree.
Also, Bree, let me speak to your ex, okay? Let me have some drama.
Also, the thing you described is a lot like a thing a halite has, where it's just a metal. It's just a
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. With that metal plaque being where most of the runes are, the leather is there for holding it firmly to the wrist, but metal actually has the runes on it.
I'll be like, are you sure you want to give this? I mean...
Loan. Like, I'm
Rogue-
loaning it for now. If you
Rogue-
show me you can use it better than me.
Rogue to rogue. You know what rogues are like.
Honestly, not too many. But you don't like you're gonna run away from your group in the night. And I imagine Diana's not gonna run away from me forever again, so we're probably gonna bump into each other at some point. And I'm gonna ask for it back. As long as you're alive. If you die, then I'll come and find it. And you. And Diana. And the rest of you.
What's that?
You see that at this point, this isn't him, like, genuinely forgetting about it. He is being intentionally cheeky.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm not even gonna do an insight check on that.
Yeah. He's not trying to hide.
Yeah. Alright, dude. Fine.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see how it goes, and I'll give this back, preferably alive.
Sounds good. Alright. Enjoy your fine and fancy room, Miss Human. And he disappears into the shadows as best as possible. Roll a perception check. It's pretty good.
Come on, Texas.
24.
It's not going to be enough. Not enough.
What?
No.
What?
Stealthy
As you're like, I see where you're going, and then there's just a slip into the shadows where you like have to turn a corner a little bit, and he is gone.
Wow.
He knows his stuff.
That is piss taxes off.
That so pissed me off.
I'm gonna throw your fucking dagger in the bin. See?
Literally, apart from Diana, I don't think Taxes likes anyone.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I was
I'm
wondering-
gonna go have a fucking bath.
Yeah,
and
you
take
go
all the
back,
soap.
go
Yes.
storming into your room. It's like your fucking boyfriend or ex-boyfriend's disappeared and left this shit.
Hey, hey! Can you see this? There's like candles and stuff. This is a Zen area, okay? I don't want to talk about Hal, and I don't want to talk about Garrick, and I don't want you to come in here and just mess the Zen. There are bubbles. I'm happy.
Okay, fair. I apologize.
Okay, so what did he do?
You
So
mentioned
now
that
that I
there's
have
like-
a glass of wine, Doss.
There's like a whole minute where there's like
Just a silence. Like, Taxi at the edge of her seat waiting.
she goes in for a dunk, comes back. So what?
So,
Taxes has tea.
your ex snuck up on me because what the fuck? Okay, and gave me this, and I'll show you the dagger.
It's pretty.
And then he did this cheeky fucking thing where he's like, "We'll go to your fancy room," and then as he turned the corner, I was like, "I see what you're doing," and he fucking disappeared. That's pissed me off so much.
I can see. Oh no. Well, he's the bragging man, so he's either two things here. So he's either actually genuinely being nice, or he wants to fuck you. Both are fine, because now you got a dagger. Woohoo!
So today, kids, the moral of the story.
It's like you got a dagger.
I got a dagger. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
When
Yes.
I'm done with this Zen, I could. Do you know what it does?
It gives me a +1, whatever that means.
You know mechanically what that means, but
Yeah, I
in
know.
game you know that it you know that it pierces through armor better. It's meant.
I love that.
With an identify, we're gonna skip past.
There are already
You-
candles and shit.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
bubbles also.
The ritual is above. You have a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. Additionally, before you make an attack with this weapon, you may expend a charge. I need to work on this some more. This is still a homebrew item work in progress.
Brew.
You expend a charge before the attack roll to form an ethereal rope between the blade and your wrist that lasts until the end of your turn. If it hits a creature as part of an attack with the rope if it hits as a part of an attack whilst the rope is present, so you've expended the charge,
It's a boomerang.
you may make a contested athletics check with the affected creature. If you win, the creature is pulled to a position adjacent to you. I'm going to balance that. I think that might just be for the short range, or it's just like half the distance towards you.
It's like a scorpion. Go over here.
Yes.
It's a lasso.
If instead you strike an object less than 20 pounds, it is just pulled to you. If you strike a fixed position like a wall or ceiling within the short range of the dagger, you may swing from the rope and travel 40 foot in that direction. Proficiency with a dagger allows you to add a proficiency bonus, just for general stuff. It is a kind of a Indiana Jones
It's a whip.
whip, except it's a dagger, and you fall there. You would know an identify as well. I don't know how much information identify gives you just about the origins of a thing. Let me have
Either way,
No,
your
it
X
doesn't
is
give
not
you anything
getting.
about origin.
about the
It's
origins,
it's
who made
essentially
it,
a rope
why.
dagger.
No, okay.
No.
It'd be
As
an
lovely
inverted-
If there's a
That was
spell
fine.
affecting it, you learn.
Distance.
No. Yeah, you would just recognize that then. Yeah, this thing has seen so much wear and tear. That's pretty much all you see.
You could use identify on a person. Oh shit.
You can use identify on a person to see if they have any spells cast on them,
Yeah.
like a charm or a frighten or a divination, indeed. See if they're currently being watched.
Or feeble-minded.
Or feeble-minded. You should be able to tell that one, hopefully.
Should have used that on Lelek. Make sure he's definitely.
Or if they've had like their memories altered,
Yeah,
or
should
if
have
they have been charmed, or if they've been frightened, or if they've had their memory altered, or if I'm joking.
I see what you're doing.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Okay. They would give that to you sort of the day before you guys were planning to go off and deal with this monstrosity. It is getting late, so I might say we pick up just before you guys go and deal with whatever this monstrosity is, or this nest monstrosity that I said, and then follow up on the tunnel into the fort to see whether that is still a viable resource or viable asset that the rebellion has. That is where we'll pick things up next time.
Thank you for the raid, everybody. Thank you for coming,
Yeah,
watching,
thanks
and
for the raid.
sticking with us, and lurking, and commenting, and being our pals. It makes us heart shapes.
Yeah. Very much appreciate it. Thank you everyone for following and subscribing and stuff. So yeah, we're gonna go now. But thank you very much. See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.